All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of the AM show hosted live on AlphaMint. It is November 19th, and we have a great show lined up for you today. A surprising amount of action going on in the NFT world yesterday. We have a lot to talk about, but I am your host, CloutCobain, and I am joined with me by somebody that I didn't prepare an intro for, but we'll just no introduction, free market capitalist.
Hey now.
Hey, now, normally I try and come up with some like stupid half-assed intro for you, but today it is just the man, the myth, the legend. So,
Boom.
how was your day yesterday? What was going on? What'd you do?
Pretty awesome day. In the morning, we had a good show.
Yeah, 52 listeners. That's easily an
What?
all-time high for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty damn cool. And then we all hopped on voice chat afterwards for a while, discussing all sorts of things. And I had to dip out early, but boy, did the AM Moon Lounge have itself a day yesterday.
Yeah, some huge wins that we'll definitely talk about later in the show. And hopefully some of the newer members got to participate in the action. I think some of them did, but yeah. So speaking of new members, appreciate all of the familiar faces in the crowd as well as new people joining us. For those that don't know, we do record the show on Spotify, Apple Music, and there is a video component of the show where I kind of go along on the browser with what we're talking about. So if you ever miss it, tune in late, can't get here, just go check one of those out and you can get your daily fix. And I think we have probably almost 10 episodes up on all of the platforms now. So if you like what you hear, definitely an opportunity to binge some more. But yeah, we can just jump right into it. So let's start off with the crypto market discussion. And yesterday, a little bit of fireworks. It almost got pretty ugly. Bitcoin and Ethereum did take a little bit of a tumble. Bitcoin was down, I think, 6-7% at one point. It did cross below the 57K threshold. It was testing the $56,000 resistance, but seems to hold. Right now, sitting at about $57,500. Still nothing to really panic about. Ethereum kind of took the same trajectory at some point, but has actually since bounced back and is up 0.5% in the last 24 hours, sitting pretty comfortably at 4,200. So Ethereum, at least yesterday, bucking the trend of following Bitcoin around like its little brother.
Yeah, this is still orderly consolidation. All the charts are intact. Ethereum has room down to 3,800 before anyone needs to start, redrawing their charts or thinking other things. I think this is just orderly consolidation before a big move because if you look at supply on exchanges for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, it is drying up.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of bull signs on the charts. Some nice consolidation, pretty healthy for this to happen, honestly. And at least in the crypto world, in the traditional finance world, 5% would be a catastrophe. This just feels like another day up or another day down. So nothing that overly panicked me. But speaking of bullish signs, I saw that Hilary Clinton came out and publicly said that crypto could undermine the dollar and destabilize nations. Definitely a bullish sign that the old rich white folk are starting to get a little bit nervous about it.
Was that
Definitely.
Hillary Clinton or Chairman Mao? Jesus. I mean, yeah, first we had Mark Zuckerberg coming out and admitting for all of corporate America that crypto is a threat, renaming Facebook Meta. Now we have the US government coming out and admitting it's a major threat. I mean, the toothpaste is out of the tube here, and you're going to start seeing a lot more of this, but I don't think anyone should be worried. I think these are bullish signs, as you said.
Yeah, and here's why I'm not worried. At least in a democratic society, you know, these politicians do need votes to get into office, and I think you said the toothpaste is out of the tube, but I think we've crossed that threshold of crypto ownership, people being aware of crypto, and people starting to get on board with crypto concepts enough that they can't risk isolating that demographic of voters. It's getting to the point where there's a lot of very wealthy people that are in on this too. So I think that's a really, really good sign for, obviously there's regulations, obviously more will come. We talked yesterday about Coinbase proposing an actual crypto asset committee. But yeah, this definitely feels like the dying breath of a generation that's holding a lot of wealth. And I see that. I saw that, and the first thing that came to mind was like, this is fucking awesome. So yeah, sorry. Next on the list, we had a big mint going on yesterday live at Sotheby's. A 1 of 13 Constitution NFT was being dropped. Did you catch this? Did you watch it live?
Guys, I wasn't watching live. I was actually out, but this was a hell of a move, going for a physical collectible,
Yeah.
which is rare for a DAO. But they put in a bid they put in a late bid around 45 million. A lot of us had actually thought they'd won because it was the highest bid.
There was some huge confusion around that. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone first it was we lost because it looked like the 41 million bid was accepted, but then they submitted a $45 million bid, and it never I don't think it went through. The floor on the Constitution rose last night, so anybody holding one of the other 13
yes, if you have
definitely woke up to some good news. But unfortunately, I think some of us were premature in our celebration. We won the Constitution.
Yeah. So it did end up selling at 41. There was a $45 million bid by the DAO, but it was not accepted. They were seeming to be trying to raise funds in real time to keep that bid going up and up. But I wonder what the appreciation value of the Constitution is. I mean, it's got a low supply. The floor is obviously rising pretty quickly. So if any Alpha Mint members are looking to buy one of the other ones, there might be some play here. But yeah, you know what?
On the other hand, there's 13 copies of the Constitution and only 9 CryptoPunk aliens. So maybe one of those is a better buy. They are cheaper.
More scarce than Bitcoin.
Exactly.
On a serious note, though, like it was kind of cool to see this happen. They did have, I think it was in the 34 core contributors. 13 of them were listed on the multi-sig, so they were part of the bidding process. Obviously, it wasn't successful, so they're in the process of handing back all of the Ethereum raised, minus gas fees, which is probably not going to be a small amount on that many names. They had 15,000 contributors as well, which was kind of cool. But I don't know. Like, does it seem off-brand to you? Like, does the Constitution seem like, I get that it's a cool thing to have. They would have to house it and store it. There would definitely be fees involved in that. But like, I don't know. Like, what's your take on it in an actual sense? This is like a big publicity stunt.
Exactly. Some things you buy for the appreciation value, and some things you buy for the publicity value. I mean, crypto, while it's only symbolic, crypto is trying to take down centralized governance to an extent. The idea that these people who, bought Bitcoin at $50, there was no money there, it was a laugh, it was stupid. They now have enough money to buy the Constitution. I think it was symbolic. I don't think they were doing it because it was going to be some, and I'm sure it would appreciate in value, but as you said, it's kind of out of character. I don't think anybody particularly cared from the monetary value of it. I think it was really just a symbolic thing, like, well, now crypto owns the Constitution. Next. So I liked the effort, and I think it was gas well spent, especially by people who could afford it.
Yeah, and with the name changes of the NBA stadiums and this and Post Malone buying a Bored Ape, like
we're trolling.
It's everywhere now. Like this is just in your face. So
how else? What better way to troll normies or to troll the U.S. government than to buy the Constitution with ETH? Come on.
Love it. Actually, I guess when you put it like that, I kind of wish it had gone through. Not that I had any skin in the game. But yeah, a pretty fun topic to talk about, and definitely interesting to watch as these things start to kind of pick up steam. I highly doubt this is the last time we'll see a DAO go after a pretty high profile piece of
sports teams.
History.
I'm telling you, there's rumblings everywhere. One of them's gonna go after a sports team, and that's gonna, this is another thing that I'm sure it will be profitable long term, but it's much more about saying, look, we're a force now. We're here, and we're not going away.
Well,
That's
speaking
the
of
piece.
trolling, like how great would it be to just get a DAO to purchase the New York Football Jets and not involve Gary Vee in it?
Yeah,
Amazing.
my father's a Jets fan, and I'm a
Oof.
Giants fan. So
Oh, double oof.
double oof, two Super Bowls. Thank you very much.
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
saying. Um,
Okay. Well,
all
we
right,
will actually have some NFL content coming to you
we do
later,
a little
but
NFL content. Yeah.
uh, let's get through the WGMI stuff and maybe we'll just transition into that. So, just a quick overview: Rumble Kong League having a good day yesterday. Bulls on the block, women in weapons still doing pretty strong there, up to a 0.23 floor. But yesterday, this isn't listed on WGMI, but I think the big winner of yesterday was actually Crypto Maury's, which is quite a passion of Alpha Mint Moon Lounge. So they saw the floor rise from like I think about what 0.12 all the way up to zero point 0.4 on some pretty serious volume. And we discussed yesterday about these projects that are lower floors starting to get scooped up aggressively as we look towards the Coinbase launch. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but what's your take?
Yeah, this is a project. Shout out to Lucas because I think a month ago, excuse me, when it launched, he put the Moon Lounge onto it, or at least aped into it pretty hard. And when I saw the art, there was something there. It's really, they're really, really great PFPs, and we know that you and I talk about this a lot. They were at 0.045
Yeah.
during the drought about 2 weeks ago, and I had brought them up on the show. I said, these are going to come back. This is not a project going away. There's something there. But gas would have doubled your purchase, and we're all financial minded. We're all thinking about making it a good trade. It's very hard for people to get their mind around paying more in gas than the actual Maury cost. So you were going to be paying 0.09 or zero point 0.1 for them, even when they were 0.045. But I think a high of zero point 0.5 yesterday, and these are going to 1 ETH. There's something special about these. They look fabulous, and I think this collection is going to have legs. It's a good community, too. The guy's a little wild and out there. As our resident Orca will tell you, they seem a little bit like they're on drugs, and their art kind of, they are their art. They're a little trippy, but it's a great project. A big fund swept the floor pretty hard a couple days ago, and it's been up only since. I don't even think it's had a pullback. It pulled back to about 0.4 this morning, but what a move.
Yeah, they do look great. They have an endearing art style to them. The differentiation on them is good. So their traits, their rarities are pretty good. And we did have a Moon Lounge member pull the most rare non one of one from the Crypto Maury's. I think that was Smithereen.
Which he had been trying to hate sell for weeks, and I had begged him to delist. I don't think it's sold yet, and I'm sure he's changed heart. But I love that collection, and I think it's going to be a contender
Yeah,
for an elite eat spot in the next cycle. So.
and the nice thing too is like they have the art style of like a Cool Cats, but they are unique to themselves. And as you said, the community is strong. And if there's one thing you can bet on is community, really, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, known artist.
it might have been the only thing that saved BearX. Love or hate that
Yeah,
community, but it might have been the only thing that actually saved them. So we don't have to talk about BearX today, though. So Crypto Maury's something to look out for. WGMI, nothing else crazy going on. 7-day change is still about the same as it was yesterday. Women in weapons leading that charge. So yesterday's kind of one of the big talking points that happened yesterday was the Wolf game that kind of got stealth dropped on the NFT world. It is a 10,000 mint drop at 0.069420. Nice. And it was pretty heavily shilled by some of the influencers in the space, including our favorite Beanie. But it's I don't know. You minted. You either got a wolf or a sheep. There is a gamification involved in this where you stake your sheep, the sheep earn wool. The wolves can attack the barn, or if they don't attack the barn, they get a 20% wool tax. There's a lot going on here, and I don't know how I feel about it. There was a lot of discussion going on, about. Let me just break it down for you. Jolly Dinger, who's also a Moon Lounge member, posted this yesterday on Twitter. He said, "Is it just me, or is there something blissfully ironic that the only the wolves and the sheep in the NFT space are the ones that minted Wolf Game? 50K supply, LOL." And then in the SpongeBob sarcasm font, "I wonder who will come out on top. Stay sharp, friends. Influencers and whales are not your friends." I tend to take that stance as well. This does seem to be like a funnel for the whales to kind of just accumulate all of this wealth from a large swath of people. That is just my opinion, though. If you are bullish on this game, by all means, come up and have the conversation with us, and we will entertain the talk. What do you think, though? You didn't get in on this, right? You're not a part of this?
I was on voice chat yesterday. I think the first place I saw this was in the Kiwi Alpha room up in the Moon Lounge. Kiwi dropped the alpha, said he saw a lot of whales minting it. I briefly looked at it. The art's okay. It's not terrible, but it feels rushed. It was weird how it was launched. It was stealth launched, but every big name and influencer seemed to know and was already minting. I don't know too much about the game, but just some red flags. And I did not mint, but it seemed to be hot overnight. It looks like it pumped. I didn't see what the floor was, but I guess it's going to end up eventually with a 50,000 supply. I know a lot of people recoil at this, and companies will call it future proofing for like the inevitable hordes that are coming to NFTs, which I do agree with, but I think that the way it was dropped, the size of the supply, the quality of the art, and the type of game it does not feel fresh to me, and it could be just a whale dump, as you said. We'll keep a close eye on it. It did move a lot of volume overnight.
Very interesting to see some of these wolf projects pop up all of a sudden.
Quickly. Yeah, I don't know where they got these ideas, but I do like wolves. I'll say that.
Wolves are cool.
It's a good creature.
Wolves are cool. So
yeah.
And then finally, I just wanted to touch on the fucking hilarious meme that Kiwi made and dropped in the Moon Lounge was the Beanie giving himself the medal award for "This is the most innovative on-chain game ever." Don't know if Beanie got in on Orcs. Maybe he's just salty about that.
No, well, after ArtChick got busted yesterday and had to switch back over to her Beanie account, she seemed to only be pushing Wolf Game after that, and Wool, which is the in-game currency there. So
hot take. Great segue into the ArtChick drama, though. So ArtChick was under a lot of scrutiny about this token drop that happened where a lot of people had a lot of ETH rugged out from underneath them, whether or not she was involved in it. Everything seemed a little bit too convenient, so everybody was going after ArtChick for that, who goes by the name Punk2476 on Twitter. And I think that this probably started down the rabbit hole for some people looking into her account, and somebody pulled up a post from August 16th, 2020, which seems like ages ago, but basically just said odemagazine.com is my blog. It has 1,000 articles as of today. That site has since been taken down, but if you got to the site, you saw that the blog was run by only one person by the name of Tanner Golden. More tweets and responses to tweets were dug up of people referring specifically to ArtChick as Tanner. Obviously, the name back then was different. You can change your Twitter handle and @ But so pulling up on the screen, I guess this is Tanner Golden. I'm not doing a doxing. This has already happened and been live. But the fireworks really kind of started after that. ArtChick kind of rebutted with a video, very masked up, sunglasses, hair down, giving the finger to the camera and saying, fuck you, so-and-so. Somebody outed that as a as a generative AI voice. That got taken down. And then finally it culminated in ArtChick 2476 writing, while many of my friends are still supporting me, I can clearly see that I'm canceled. I think you can sub the word canceled for accountable. It's heartbreaking because I tried my best with my projects. I'm sorry for folks that lost money betting on me. And yes, I am a woman. I killed it while I was here. I'll leave now. Goodbye. Beanie immediately jumped in. I don't think was following all of it, being like, you know, basically saying haters hate. They love to attack the women that are successful in this space, to which everyone responded like, did you not see everything else that was going on? He doubled down after. I don't know. What a wild turn of events.
Somehow he always knows when a project is racist 3 weeks before it drops, but he doesn't know all the ArtChick drama hours after everybody else found out.
Yeah.
I think that I don't even know what to believe. Obviously, the evidence looks like this was a catfish by somebody perpetrating a woman to be an NFT influencer. This person hadn't been around a very long time, rose to quote-unquote fame quickly, and was known for, I guess, what you would describe as pump and dumps within the NFT space. She or he was a for-hire promoter for projects, and as they got more popular, they wielded influence. And as an example, Winter Bears had hired ArtChick to promote that project, and it did very well. It got to a 1.5 ETH floor at its top. But she had recommended a lot of junk, and people get burned, and that causes people to dig. There's going to be controversy, and when you're pseudonymous, people are going to make up more stuff than when you are not, because people don't like mystery and don't like not knowing. So it just seems like influencer drama that really has nothing to do with the overall market, but I guess is kind of entertaining for all of us that are watching, because these guys do move markets when they talk about specific projects, and to see it just collapse in fabulous fashion like this, it's a thing. It's
yeah. Something. I mean, ArtChick was definitely known for their pretty hot takes. They definitely shilled some projects. It wasn't as egregious as something like a Fleur, but you know, definitely a polarizing figure. I mean, the thing that blows my mind is that you know, a couple people pointed out that there's some speculation, and maybe it is actually true, that the Tanner pic is from This Person Does Not Exist, which is like an AI generative like profile picture thing. So my question is, if you know, they started this review affiliate website that I referenced earlier under a pseudonym of Tanner Golden with a you know, a generative pic, why would they not have had the foresight to just make a new Twitter account?
So you know
what I mean? Like, something doesn't. If they were savvy enough to just set up a pseudonym to try and make some money online under a pseudonym, like, I would expect them to have been savvy enough to create a new Twitter profile specifically for their crypto, you know, or NFT account, and just start growing it from there as well. I don't know. The whole thing is messy.
They didn't know they were going to get famous, is my guess. I mean, a lot of people who were early to NFTs and just lucky got famous because they were there early.
But then just take the, you know, maybe day of work to go back and delete all your old tweets. Like, sure, you could probably dig them up on like archive sites and whatnot, but like, I don't know. The whole thing is just weird to me. Like, you know,
my overall opinion is that none of this should matter, right? And everyone should have the right to be pseudonymous, and they should be based on, and your opinion should be based on their work. The problem is her work has burned a lot of people,
and that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Right. And then on top of that, they seem to have leveraged the idea that they're a woman to push certain projects with a virtue signal.
Sure. You cut out there, but yeah, I think that what you were on the point of was correct. Is just, you know, fraudulently using personas to push an agenda. You know, and if somebody was like a real nice guy in the space and had done no wrong and this had happened to them, maybe some different opinions would have happened and there would have been some forgiveness. I don't think that this is the last we'll see of them, but who knows? So
And P.T. Barnum, right? Any publicity is good publicity. I think that's what's going to end up happening here. She goes away for like 10 minutes at a time. I'm leaving for good, and comes back.
Yeah, I mean, it was a daily post of hers that I'm only going to spend an hour a day on Twitter, and then like 5 hours later, it was like I haven't left Twitter yet. So yeah, whatever. I do agree with you. Like this shouldn't be more than a momentary distraction, but I do believe to the right to pseudonymity, but I think you got to put in a little more effort than that. So I don't think we need to talk anymore about the drama in there, but like let's move to another project that had a lot of drama that we talked about yesterday. Project Draca did mint out. Well, obviously it minted out, but it did reveal, yesterday at 5. The volume on the reveal did go up and the floor went down. So right now, after the reveal, I've pulled it up on the screen. The floor is sitting at 1.7 E.
0.17 E.
0.17. Didn't I say that? Oh, sorry.
Stop scaring people. No.
Did I say 0.7?
You said 1.7.
Oh. Yeah, big difference. As Kiwi would like to point out, I am bad with my decimal points. Decibels, yes. So yeah, anyways, they revealed, and I'm looking at them. The floors, they are they're pretty boring, honestly. If you want to just break down a single individual one, pretty cool pixel art and stuff like that. But again, like these are even kind of marketed as a profile picture project, and it's there's too many pixels. Like the resolution on it's too much. There's too much detail. When you start to scale that down into a Discord profile picture or Twitter profile picture, you lose a lot of that. It looks blurry, not for me, and the floor is reflecting that. Now let's keep in mind 0.17 doesn't seem that bad. It is a 999 supply project, and I think when you put it into that perspective, could have gone a lot better.
Yeah, I think Cobain and I had talked about this a lot. It's not even that the art is bad. It's okay. It doesn't work in the frame of the type of project they were trying to do. And then combined with burning their whitelist community on the launch, the dev quitting, the failed launch, and then the eggs pre-reveal looking better than the dragons. I mean, it's a tough go for them. Hopefully they bounce back. I definitely would have minted had I been on the whitelist. I mean, if I could have minted, I guess I should say, but they just look too similar and too detailed for a profile picture project.
Quickly skimming through, sorry, Free Market, you cut out, so I'm just going to...
ahead.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Quickly skimming through, I did see one go through as like a 0.125 ETH sale sometime in the last 12 hours. It's got like the laser eyes, the electricity. This one actually does look pretty slick. I think it's one of the one-on-ones. It looks like one of the sneak peeks that they kind of dropped. For some perspective, like we talked about yesterday, the main Doodles project picture that they were using to promote went for, was it 90 ETH, somewhere in that, right? This is a 1,000 supply project that has 999 of them, and you're only seeing sales of just over 1 ETH. Like if this was like a serious hype train project, I think Scott's a big advocate of this, is like, look at the big purchases, right? If the big players are willing to jump in and spend some money on the ultra rares of the project, the 10, 20, 30, 50x the floor, great sign for a project. This would be cause for concern for me.
If DigiDragons had a 999 supply, they'd be at a 2E floor right now.
Did that mean?
I predict that would be the case. They're a much higher supply, but just for reference.
You made me think that they minted for a second there. I was like, oh shit! No. I actually like that one. I wanted to mint that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, for that's what you gotta, you kind of have to look out for what looks good in the PFP bubble. It sounds simple and obvious, but this one failed that test and their price is reflecting that.
But you know what? If you're in the project, like, let's just give a little bit of a bull case here. It did mint out they did recover from some of the drama, and the floor is higher than the mint price. So silver linings there. Not
And they
the worst
haven't
thing in the world.
announced another plus. They haven't announced utility, and I know it's coming. So I like that they tried to sell out on their art and their supply number, and now we know there's going to be utility for these Genesis dragons and likely subsequent collections. So we'll see what direction they take it. I hope it bounces back.
I would maybe say, talking through this now, if this project dipped below like a 0.1 floor, like, you know, 0.5, 0.05, 0.06 or something, like I might actually look to pick one up as a hold. I do love the low supplies. They do rip when the time comes, if the time comes. So I don't want everybody to think that like I or we absolutely hate this project, but definitely some red flags, and the drama yesterday doesn't help, or maybe it does. I don't know.
I like Ethereum more than most projects. Is my
Oh, I was like,
is how I look at that. I really have to like a project more than I like Ethereum to trade it for it.
good thesis.
Yeah.
Speaking of more drama, more fireworks, and more insanity, Phantom Galaxies yesterday was absolutely the talk of the town. I believe this is going to go down for the time being, and hopefully all time, as the biggest hack yet.
A Discord hack, another
Discord hack, another I believe webhook hack or socially engineered hack involved in seizing control of the Discord. It was quite the show. We were actually in the voice chat yesterday talking about it, and it was happening in real time. All of a sudden, it was like, "Whoa, Phantom Galaxies is minting," and immediately everyone was like, "I don't think so." And then, lo and behold, there was a fake website. So their website is phantomgalaxies.com. Someone had scooped up phantomgalaxies.org, put up a pretty shoddy site with a mint button on there that was just a direct transfer into a wallet. And people went nuts. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This was supposed to be a free mint for like a play to earn game, correct?
I didn't know that, but you could be correct. I think I did hear something about that. I didn't know the actual specifics.
Yeah. So they posted up that the mint was going to be for 0.1 ETH. You could mint up to a maximum of 15 per transaction and get them while they're hot. They put a little fake mint counter on there that kind of gradually went up as you were looking at it. They ended up scooping, last time I checked, 260 ETH. I have no doubt that it was more after that. It took them a while.
There were some 1.5 ETH, some transactions too. Some people maxed out their quote unquote.
It took them a long time to get control of the Discord, and to add insult to injury, the hackers probably, I think, were savvy enough to schedule this to all go down at about 2 a.m. Eastern Sydney time, which is where the team's from. So pretty good likelihood that all of the team was sound asleep while this is going on, and what a shitty way to wake up, honestly.
When you have a Discord with 80,000 people in it, you're going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of unsophisticated people in there. It's probably their first journey into crypto. I know a lot. Discord was a video game app for the most part of its life, and I know a lot of people end up in NFT Discords from video game Discords. And I'm not saying unsophisticated in a bad way. We just know that there's a big learning curve to crypto and scams and gas and just knowing all the variables that can affect you. And when you have a Discord this large, you are going to be a target for this type of attack. When you are setting up a project and setting up a Discord, I would, at this point,
I think
right? They had two-factor authorization on.
Oh yeah, you did cut out there for a second, but I think you're just saying, like, when you're setting up a Discord, security is the utmost concern first and foremost.
Yeah, it should be the first thing a team does, is either hire a security team or look up best practices right now, because that is just a huge hole in this industry that even large established projects who come from mainstream backgrounds are getting just destroyed by this.
So I want to finish off kind of just the tail end of this story and then jump into the conversation regarding Discord, because I think that there's some flaws there that a company that's easily worth $10 billion need to address themselves. Essentially, they ended up getting control of the Discord back. Obviously, they killed the mint link to the fraudulent site. They have put out a pretty unapologetic announcement. And this is something that I could see rubbing people the wrong way, especially those that lost money. It was just, we're investigating. Thanks for your patience and support. The official website wasn't compromised. Disconnect your wallet immediately from the fraudulent website. Like, there was no like, we are stunned and shocked and oh my god. Like, I don't know. Maybe some people need that, some people don't. But just an observation on my end.
Yeah. Bedside manner, right?
Yeah. Like, let's ease the blow here. It's just like, imagine just waking up and going, huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's deal with this, right? Like, no, there's got to be like a little bit of like a holy shit, like, the ball was dropped, and So, anyways, Yatsiu, which is part of the Phantom Galaxies, went on and made a Twitter thread. Basically said, we will ensure that all customers will be appropriately compensated. See our post on the matter. He did a little bit of a thread on there, but again, shockingly unapologetic, and like 260 ETH, and like I said, probably more than that is going to be a huge hurdle to overcome, especially when this is a larger scale game. They have salaries to pay, etc., etc. Will be interesting to see how this bounces back, if it bounces back.
Because we always say the first thing these teams need to do is assure everyone's going to get paid back, and then do that. I mean, how do you pay back 260 ETH like before you've even minted as a big team like that?
Yeah.
Whew, that could be a death knell if you don't have that capital.
Hey, if ETH continues to tank, maybe it won't be that difficult to pay it back.
Right, it'll only be $50 by Friday.
Definitely won't be other bigger problems to deal with if that's the case. But yeah, so unfortunate to see that, and unfortunate that people are losing their money in this way. Big topic, though, is Discord, right? $10 billion company. There's got to be some support lines set up for large-scale Discords to contact immediately. Like, I think at this point, if you have an 80,000 member server, they should be giving you a red carpet to a service channel.
Yeah.
There should be,
most companies do that.
There's got to be a way that's like, if there's ever an event or an issue, like, this is your number, or this is your dedicated service rep. I mean, how often are there, like, you could probably hire 5 people that are global on different time zones, and give them direct lines of contact that are outside of the realm of your Discord account.
For sure.
And maybe internally on the Discord program, if all of a sudden all of the channels on large scale Discords get blocked, things start getting deleted rapidly and whatnot, like, a service member has to actually come in and check it out and cut it off immediately and get them control back, even if it's just an agreement. But Discord, as you mentioned, started off as a kind of a gaming hub. It was their main thesis, and it's quickly shifted into a real-time communication manner that people use to kind of decide the fate of a substantial amount of money. I mean, there's huge stock trading Discords, there's huge NFT projects, there's huge crypto trading, investment, and knowledge Discords, and I think it's time that Discord starts taking this seriously, because there's a lot at stake for them and their members.
We've talked on a few shows about what projects can do, and there are a ton of steps you need to consider and take. But like you said, it's time for Discord to step in and offer a hand, because this could kill this project, and it was a big anticipated project. A lot of people were looking forward to. So Discord needs to get on the ball here.
Well, the damages alone in this one are probably in the realm of $1.5 million, right?
Wow.
Like,
wow.
that's a lot of money, and I don't want to say it would be
For
a
a
small
startup, I
investment for
mean,
Discord, but like,
mhm.
no, I'm just saying like like having a better method of dealing with this stuff on Discord's end could have prevented a lot of that damage. Like, sure, maybe there's that moment in time where they catch it for 5 minutes, right? But
Yeah.
there's got to be some like red flags that pop up in like a support channel feed that says, you know, all of all of the channels in this Discord just got blocked randomly. Um, they're pinging lots. I don't know, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I'm not a developer. I don't, you know, I don't do
There's
that
some
stuff.
commonalities. There's some
Ah,
commonalities between all the hacks. So maybe we could come up with a standard or best practices of certain actions occur within a Discord. That could be a good thing to look into.
right. And you raised the point of like in an 80,000 person Discord, all you have to do is catch 800 people that just weren't paying attention, right?
Yeah.
1% of that population just going, oh shit, this is minting now. Like, you got to believe that there's a lot of people that jumped into this Discord, haven't checked it in 3-4 weeks, happen to just stumble in there because they see a bunch of pings going on and go, oh wow, it's minting now. Like, how fortuitous that I caught this. And boom, there you go. As you said, this space moves so quickly, and sometimes logic and reason um,
And
almost get thrown out
the
the
other
window.
huge issue here, how long was this Discord open? I mean, they have been open for months and this project wasn't ready to mint yet. Like maybe someone was in there and can tell us, but what's been going on for 3 months besides hype, which now costs them a huge why? You know, I don't know if I don't know if projects should be opening Discords until they're pretty close to launch at this point.
All right. Well, we will keep a close eye on Phantom Galaxies. I'm sure there will be more coming out of this, and we'll see where that goes. See how they can, you know, make the victims whole again if they can. And you know, I hope for a success story, even just to make those people that lost their money whole again. So, last topic that we kind of have on the list, and we alluded to it at the beginning of the show, was the NFL. Yesterday, some major wins in the Moon Lounge happening as Ticketmaster jumped into the NFTs with NFL kind of commemorative virtual tickets. They released 125 virtual tickets for each team. The cost of them was $10. And let's just say, like, you could buy them with your credit card and stuff like that. You signed up for Ticketmaster and connected your bank accounts. You could buy them for $10. You got your choice of them, and the secondary market on this went absolutely ballistic. I saw some people in the Moon Lounge selling them for as high as like $5,000 at one point.
10 grand. I think a couple of them went for 10.
Did they actually? I knew that was the
Yep.
cap. Like, you couldn't actually sell them for more for 10 grand. Obviously, this is a company that has to deal with proper regulations, and any purchases over 10,000 have to be reported in a specific way.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a hard cap on that. It was on the Polygon network as well. So I don't know if these ended up migrating to OpenSea at all. But big win for Polygon. Big win for a lot of Moon Lounge members who managed to, like, no joke, get a 500x in the span of a couple hours. And you know, maybe a sign of things to come as to the rabidity of NFL fans looking towards Top Shots for NFL moments.
Well, shout out to the Alpha Man King of the Day hologram. I think it was right. It was right after our voice chat, or maybe towards the end.
Wow. Sorry, you still there? Anyways, yeah, I just seeing in the
I
oh, there you are. Keep going.
Yeah. All right. So I was just saying that Hologram dropped this alpha, and people started jumping on them, and it just went through for hours because at the end of the day, I came back and NFL was all anybody was talking about.
Yeah, it was the talk of the Moon Lounge last night. I went to bed around 9:30, and it was like all NFL, even just like talking about NFL stuff for a good hour and a half that I was in there.
And
Yeah,
no gas. Hey, for all the
no
people
gas.
out there complaining about gas, they were on Polygon, so each transaction was practically free, if not free. I didn't see exactly, but you know, L2, we can see where L2s are going to play a role, right? Because this was a successful stealth drop. Speaking of stealth drops, and that's what you're going to see in the future, because large corporations are not going to get involved in the gas game on L1. This is how you're going to see them launch. And this is what L2s like Polygon are good for. Because if you're a small project, you need gas. We talk about it all the time. In a deregulated market, price is your only regulator. It's the only mechanism out there. You need that gas to help your project at multiple stages that we've talked about before on the show. When you are the NFL, you don't need anything. There's going to be demand for your product, rabid demand, but you need smaller fans who, are going to pay $10 and can't pay gas to buy it. And that's exactly where L2s are going to shine in the next few years.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how L2s actually end up developing, and whether or not they'll hold any kind of relevance. But for the time being, this was a big win, kind of on all fronts. Scott did confirm that one lucky Moon Lounge member did end up selling 2 of them for $10,000 each. Like literally 1,000x'd $20 in the span of a couple hours. And as a shameless promotion for Alpha Mint Moon Lounge, if you had the pass and you were in there at that time, you were welcome to participate. These things were easy to pick up at the time. I was actually out, so didn't get in on any of that action. But yeah, so
Alpha Mint caught 100% of the pumps yesterday. We were dropping Moris early in the day. We had that Wolf game by Kiwi midday, and then Hologram with the NFL Alpha. What a day!
So yeah, on that note, anybody in the audience that's thinking about getting a Moon Lounge pass, we are not very far away from releasing the next block. We will give you ample time, and you will absolutely have your chance to get in there as well. So no need for panic. The announcement will be coming probably shortly in the next couple days. So keep your eye out for that. But yeah, some gigantic wins for the members there. On that note, I think we can finish up unless there's any topics you want to close with.
I did want to close with a very interesting topic. For 2 days, I've been talking about legend maps. I minted some of them on the show when the pre-sale went live, and this thing was slow to mint. I think of the pre-sale, who should have been able to mint out more than half of them, they sold about 500 or 600.
Yeah, it was slow moving. I passed on mine. I don't want to talk about it.
Yep. A few whales had dipped their toe, but no big purchases. And then I came in to the Moon Lounge this morning to see what was going on. I checked legend maps, and who was there in the general but Pranksy? With a very simple message. This looks like a cool project. And he subsequently went on to buy 200 of them. They sold out in maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, about a half an hour. Low gas, too.
Yep, low gas. And they saw some swift secondary volume. They aren't mooning, but this was a project that I really liked, with a great concept and cool art that I didn't really even expect to sell out. So seeing it sell out this morning and seeing Pranksy ape really hard into it gives me a lot of hope for the future. The only reason I'm not, crazy on the price right now, and hey, they could go to 0.5 tomorrow, I don't know, but I'm not calling it as a trade because this is a very early project. These founders maps are like mint passes for what's going to come, and they will play a part in the game. But I think when people over the next few hours or day look here, they're going to be like, well, there's nothing to do yet. So the traders are going to start undercutting the floor. And that could be a good time to pick up if it looks interesting to you. So that was the last thing I had today. Go check out legendmaps.io, or we'll drop the Discord in the AM show chat.
So just some context for people. This was a 0.06 mint, I think, right? Or no, 0.04.
No, 0.0420. So shout out to them for the weed reference.
Yes, I guess. Shout out to them for the narcotics reference.
All right, cop. Jesus, narcotics.
No, I'm kidding.
Weed, ganja, the Buddha.
So yeah, sorry, 0.0420. It was the mint, and the contract was okay. It definitely ran you some gas. Do you know what your kind of cost basis on minting was?
Yeah, no, it was a poorly written contract because it quoted you 4 times the gas you paid. I don't think I paid more than 0.015 on any of the maps. So it ended up with about a 0.06 cost basis. I think 0.058 was mine on a few of them.
So on that note, yeah, 0.06 is kind of the
Yeah.
cost basis most people minting are looking at. Right now, they are for sale on OpenSea at 0.075. So if you were looking to get into it, it's not going to run you much more than the mint cost would have. So not all is lost. Pranksy is not the worst whale to see aping into a project. He's definitely not the flipping type as much as like a Sneaky or a Mev. He will probably hold large swaths of these for a lot longer than most whales you'll see. So I don't think that you have to worry about a large portion of the supply getting dumped immediately. I
He
don't know if.
doesn't flip. He doesn't flip little mints like this. He flips punks. You know,
Yeah,
he'll
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
buy he'll buy a $4 million punk and flip it for 6 million 3 hours later. He doesn't give a shit about flipping a .042 thing. He bought it because he liked it.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Great sign for Legend of Maps. So on that note, yeah, we will do the Q&A session. Anybody that wants to put their hand up, go for it. Jump up on stage. Come say hi to us, and we'll have a discussion. And even if you disagreed with anything we said, if you felt like we were talking some ish about a project that you're bullish on, we love hearing the bull cases. Honestly, like it's not we're not immune to criticism, and it's also important that we don't want anybody to ever feel like our opinion should alter theirs about a project. Like if you have a good reason that you got a conviction play going, I would love to hear that, because one of my favorite things is having my opinion changed by like a really good strong argument. So yeah, I do just actually have to just run off for like 30 seconds. So I'm gonna bring Cass up to kind of talk with you for a second, and I will be right back. Okay.
Let's do it. Good morning, Sir Cass. How are you this fine day?
Good morning, sir, free market capitalist. How art thou?
Feeling wonderful. Feeling good. My bags are pumping this morning, so I feel better than yesterday.
Tell me a bit more about this Legend Founders map. I'm just looking at it on my OpenSea at the moment.
Cool.
And,
So, yeah, this is going to be an on-chain role player game that is going to have multiple characters and subsequent mints after this. So you mint what is called a founders map. Now, these founders maps are going to be like levels or realms in this game, and players, and I assume you're going to mint the players that play subsequently. Like I said, there's not a ton of information out yet, but players will then come to your map, right? And they will try to explore it, loot it, battle creatures within it. Now, if the player wins, it removes loot from your map. And again, I don't know how any of this works. It's a little esoteric right now, so don't ask me the finer details. But if the player wins, he wins the loot. If the player loses and
you've cut out. No.
oh, sorry. If the player am I still there?
Yeah, you are now.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the player loses within your map, you get the rewards, the owner of the map. So we get to both be players, and we're the lords of these levels that we own as the founders map. So you get to play from like two different angles with this game. Medieval bent to it, dungeon crawls, that type of thing. And that's all I know so far. They are game developers by trade who are new to crypto. So they've been in the gaming industry 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. I think I might need to buy one then.
Yeah, I've talked about how I have a lot more faith in gaming companies coming to crypto than crypto people going to gaming, and I think this project's a great example. I think it's killer. I have high hopes for it.
No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense, because even I don't know if you've heard of Rebel bots. Again, same kind of concept where well, not the same concept, different concept, but gaming companies coming into crypto, which gives me a lot more. You know, when you find out that one of the games that they've developed was over. One of the games that they developed, and on downloads, they received over 120 million downloads. That was their best one. The worst one was about 2.7 million downloads. So when you know someone's in the NFT space to obviously obtain income to build the game, yeah, it kind of differs away from the NFT space and then builds onto the gaming platform. You're just a holder of, or one of the main investors to make the game happen. In turn, you get rewarded with land or whatever it is on the game that they build. So I think that's a really good concept.
Yeah, I love it, and I think that making a game is so difficult. I mean, we can, you even see out there just these pure gaming companies that aren't incorporating crypto. It's a dog eat dog industry, and it's really hard to make a good game that becomes a phenomenon. So you want people with experience in that world designing the things you invest in, at least in my humble opinion.
No, 100%, and I couldn't agree with you more. Did you guys hear about random news? There's two newses I've got to share. Little baby cool cats. Has anyone heard the fantastic story of that?
We
We
talked
know the
about those the
project.
other day, yeah.
They got delisted.
They were delisted.
Yeah, they got delisted, and I think they got delisted because, from what I can gather, some members of the Cool Cats admin, or not admin, owners, yeah, they didn't like it so much, and they kind of reported it to OpenSea, and it's been delisted.
Interesting.
Wow, yeah,
Decentralization.
and that's the same thing that happened to Funks, is that Larva Labs complained to OpenSea, and that's why they were removed and had to start their own marketplace. So very
Yeah,
interesting.
and funny enough, I was on the AMA yesterday, just hearing, and I think the founder from Funks came in and kind of said to give him a shout if he needed advice or so on and so forth. But yeah, it was a big uproar. I think obviously the flippers were annoyed because they can't flip it anymore. But the community seems to be kind of strong with it. So that was actually really cool. But yeah, just to keep an eye on what developments happen with that, because it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it from here on in, which could be an open gate for other NFTs to kind of venture outwards apart from OpenSea. So it'll be good to see.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, I want to
Um,
check it out.
and then the other thing was, anyone who's got that Alithia AI, I was playing around with the system today, or one of my guys called me up, and he said to me, I think there's a glitch on the website. Okay, and I was like, what do you mean there's a glitch on the website? So normally what you're meant to do, you're meant to have this conversation with the AI either via video or speech or by text. Okay. And then after you've battled with this person or this AI, you get 10 points or you get 10 credits. So I believe these credits will be used later on down the line to pay to get your pod leveled up to level 2. But what a friend of mine figured out was all you have to do is kind of quit and accept as many times as you can, and you get as much credits with it. So where it would take about 3 to 4 minutes to get like 10 credits, I've been able to kind of get in 3 to 4 minutes about 150 credits.
Huh.
Because there's
Wow,
a glitch.
that's a really good tip for listeners. What's that? What's the website for that?
That was Alithia AI. So that was the one. Because a few people from here said after the thing, they messaged me and said like, "Oh, I got one as well," and I was like, "Cool." And I saw one or two of them on the Alithia Discord, which they don't even know about this yet. They don't even know there's this issue. So I thought, let me kind of give you guys some cool information, and if you have got one of them, you could. Well, I'll put it this way: I've already got 4,500 tokens.
Boom, live alpha right here. Live alpha drop. I like it.
So yeah, I just thought I'd add that, and then I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning.
So
It's
far,
like
so good, my
exercise.
friend. It's
Yeah,
Friday
feeling
morning.
good, man.
Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna bring in business up, but it's always great to chat with you, my friend. And you shot me a DM yesterday that was very kind, and I appreciate that so much. I know Free Market does too, and everyone in Alpha Mint is thrilled to have you here.
Oh, that means so much. Thank you, guys, man. I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.
Absolutely.
Talk to you soon, bud.
You guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Voice check. Hey, did you guys? I missed earlier in the show. Did you guys talk about ConstitutionDAO yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
What's
did.
your
I missed.
thoughts?
Well, I won't rehash it then. Is anybody going to jump into this thing?
It's over. They lost.
They're done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
No. So just as a quick recap, the auction was last night. They put their bid in. I think it was like 35 million. Somebody else jacked the bid up to 41 million. They were like raising ETH on the fly, trying to get it in. They ended up actually getting $45 million to put the bid in. It was the highest bid. They did think that they actually got it at first, but the $41 million bid was accepted. So did not end up becoming proud owners of the Constitution. But I do think that they're hiring Nicolas Cage to steal the Declaration of Independence next. So
right.
Great movie. Great movie.
yeah, like pretty underrated, like guilty pleasure movie, honestly.
I've watched both of them like 100 times.
I don't hate them.
Certainly a guilty.
No, I
Definitely
like
one. It's definitely one you can like if you just accidentally see it on, you're like, I can roll with this for a little bit.
I actually love that the Constitution DAO's like Twitter banner was Nicolas Cage stealing the Declaration of Independence. Always good to have some fun with it too, right? But yeah, little would have been interesting to see that go through and some of the conversation that would have happened surrounding it, especially on mainstream media. But it was not to be.
Yesterday was a bad day for me to tune out.
All of us. I don't think any of us were around for the real alpha because Cobain and I had to go run errands. Too.
Anybody that's just joining AlphaMan, if Hologram mentions something, he's not the kind of person that screams it. He's like, I've known the guy for a long time, and he's one of those people that will just very quietly throw in something that he should be like screaming from the mountaintops about.
I own a kaiju because of Hologram. I have a kaiju because of Hologram. So if you guys want to know how good his alpha.
Yeah, the NFL thing. I can't. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was no joke. But I mean, I guess in hindsight, NFL fans are crazy, and they've been kind of looking looking from the outside in on NBA having a lot of fun with Top Shots. Maybe this should have been more obvious that it would be something that they'd want to get their hands on, but to like a pretty innocuous drop on Ticketmaster where you're buying with like just dollars for $10, like pretty like I mean, I would have been surprised if you had asked me at the time, like if a couple of these would sell for like $500-600, but like literally to get up to 10 grand and it probably only got there because that was their max is mind boggling. Like this was wild.
I mean, the crazy thing about it is just we use that term like asymmetrical risk, right? I mean, we're buying NFTs that on average right now have a mint gas cost of $150.
Yeah,
right.
More.
So
just the gas. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you see something that you're like 0.03, and we're like, that's priced well, right? And then add 0.02 or like 0.02 in gas if gas isn't crazy. You're talking about $500 by the time you're done, $400. That's 40 NFL. Like if you could have bought 40 of the NFL tickets for that. That's just a wild chance for asymmetrical risk of like, wait a minute, this is the first. I gave him a lasting for that on like, how could you not buy like 30 of these things?
Well, thank God he was able to use one of his PFP. He was invisible for days. We couldn't even see the guy.
That's not even one of them. He copy and pasted that profile picture. Get him out of here.
NFL.com.
Yeah, canceled. The NFL NFT actually only released 100 out of the 125 as of last night for each team. Okay. 101 to 125 wasn't owned by anybody. Okay, so even more scarce.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody talked about what they think the hold strategy is on that, or when the right time to potentially sell a few of those is.
Oh my god! I mean,
Coming up.
personally, like, fucking take the
Long-term holds.
1000x. I don't know.
Long-term holds. I think so. I mean, this was a gift. You know, they debuted them at $10, probably knowing they left all this money on the table. This was a gift from
Yeah,
the
they don't care
NFL.
about a million. They don't care about
Yeah.
a million.
Well, what? Oh yeah,
Ex-
they don't. And what would the
Right.
backlash of Ticketmaster being like, dropping these things for $1,500 each? Everyone would be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
Yeah.
just
So
all,
they did it.
you kind of broke it down in an interesting way, though, comparing it to like an actual ETH mint with the gas and what the cost is. Some quick calculator math tells me that the mint price of these NFL ticket NFTs was 0.0024.
ETH, yeah, right. Just transfer it into ETH.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, like, that might as well have been a free mint in the grand scheme of things. Unbelievable. So huge shout out to Hologram for that alpha, and huge shout out to anybody that took advantage of it.
Always
ended up
trying to
loading-
make me get off the main net for his alpha. Ugh.
I know, right? Yeah, the Megapont. I think if anybody's interested in exploring alternative, chat with Hologram. He's the king of alt alpha. I think him and I can't remember if it was Dubs or who minted Megapont.
Yep,
On
it was
the,
yep,
stack.
it was Stubbs. Yeah. We bowed down to
Yeah.
his alt-chain greatness, no question.
Yeah. I ended up, so I bought, was it the NFL tickets? I didn't mint that. I tuned in at like 10 o'clock last night, and I still was like $200. Yeah, so I picked up like 11 or 12 of them at like
Nice.
2 to 250. But we'll see. But I mean, I still was looking at the numbers, and it's still cheaper than minting a little baby cool cat. So
For real, what are the floors right now? Are they maintaining like 400, something like that? I know they were around there.
there's a couple that are like on the lower teams that are you can pick up for like 200 right now, but
Okay. Any
but yeah,
Giants?
most of them. Huh?
Any
Anyway,
Giants? I gotta go get a Giants one.
I don't know. I'm on my cell right now. I picked up
Yeah.
2 of the Giants yesterday, but
Yeah,
I
those
think
are
it's going to be, probably my guess is this Sunday and then possibly Thanksgiving. This will be mentioned, during the game.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and that would be the time. But for anybody, the negative side, if anybody was thinking about it, they are going to be trying to do like those, and it like basically POAPs. I mean, I was calling them POAPs, but essentially when you use a ticket in person, you'll get a digital NFT that you can mint in connection with your ticket to put in your virtual wallet. That's what they're trying to do.
I like it.
So I think there was one that was on there that was like 16,000 potential people that went to the game. Yeah, they max capacity and like 6,000 claimed them. But those were single game tickets on that platform, not the inaugural season 100 of each team. So those are going to be probably a very different class and probably not have a whole lot of value. So.
Well, and the really kind of clever thing that a bunch of people in here did was, so I guess it wasn't 125, only one out of 100, and you could, I correct me if I'm wrong, you could kind of cherry pick the numbers that you wanted to buy, like the actual mint number.
Yeah. They were buying years, Super Bowl.
They were buying Super Bowl years, undefeated seasons, like big name players on that team, like 81
Really
on the
smart.
Bengals, and like
Yeah.
that was really, really shrewd, sharp trading moment for people to even just think about that, right? Like,
Next level thinking, man. I mean, because in Top Shot, you see it all the time. The jersey number gets a huge premium for each card. Anything that's a single digit, so number 1 through 10, and of course, basketball championship years. Great call by everybody yesterday.
so the Giants have a floor of 300 right now.
I mean, 125 of these things, that seems ridiculous. Nobody knows about it yet. These are going much
Right.
higher. That seems...
Yeah, I mean, Twitter definitely, crypto Twitter definitely started posting around about it, but I think a lot of people just slept on it anyways because they're like, oh, it's not on Ethereum. So,
I gotta say too, these look pretty fucking cool. Like they did a good job with the animation on it and whatnot. Very NFL-esque, but I like them.
Dope.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, on that note, anybody else want to jump up with us? We'll probably cut this off in about 15 minutes if anyone's up here, and if not, we'll probably do it a little bit sooner as the Shroom Head himself raises his hand. Let's get you up here. I also invited Maz up here if Maz is listening. I want to get him up here to talk about the show that he's been doing as well. So, but Josh, jump on up.
Hey everyone, how's it going this fine morning?
Great. How are you doing, man?
Pretty well.
Oh, doing good. Good. Waking up, making coffee, doing the usual.
Doing the damn dang.
Coffee.
Let's see what to ask you guys about today.
Can I just sorry to interrupt you. I just want to mention that there was some minting going on this morning for Cryptoon Goons, which was Alpha Mint member Jesse Friedland ended up joining part of their team, and so that was a 0.07 mint with minimal gas fees, and that is actually doing really well right now. So if you minted that, it is still pre-reveal for anybody that minted today. But the floor looks like it's sitting at about 0.14, 0.15 on secondary right now. So nice little mint if anyone was in on that.
Congrats, Jesse.
Yeah, great to hear that for him. I don't think he's in the chat right now. But yeah, sorry, Josh, to cut you off there, but I just wanted to drop that real quick.
No, all good. Hey, and if anybody has a link to the OS for that project, post it in the chat.
I will do that right now for you. It did mint out too, which is always good for a project at this point.
They remind me of the old Steamboat Mickey Disney characters. Really cool throwback art that's not like anything anyone's putting out right now.
Yeah, colors don't pop on them. I pull it up on the screen. The colors don't pop on them, but it does suit the style, and there's a large variety of traits on them, which is pretty cool too. So I will put that in the AM show chat right now for anybody interested.
Awesome. Yeah, excited to check that out. Yeah, I love that we've got people here who are working on projects, and maybe one day we can all set up a channel or something where people can talk about the nitty-gritty strategies of minting and growth, marketing, all that kind of stuff, finding an audience, community building, etc. Because
great idea.
I found it's pretty hard to find those communities. That segues, perfect segue into my next question, which is connecting with other people who are building things in this space and finding spaces to have those discussions with people that aren't sort of shill focused. I'm wondering if you guys have any leads or know of any Discords out there that focus on that kind of stuff. And if not, have any ideas for maybe starting a space or something around that? Because I think there's a lot of value to having that for artists, creators, marketers, etc.
That's a great point. I know of dev ones because obviously, being a dev is half of the work with these NFT projects and getting them launched. And I know that they have a few Discords where they talk about stuff. I don't know any artist-focused ones. If maybe anyone in the audience wants to drop in the AM show chat if they know. That's a great question, and I think you're right. That is something that the industry would truly benefit from, because I was just talking to a digital artist yesterday. I was at the club, and I saw this guy.
You were at the club yesterday?
The weed club.
I'm like, just
narcotics. Excuse me, Dad, narcotics.
50 Cent up here in the club last night on a Thursday night.
This guy was sketching on his 13-inch iPad Pro. Check them out, apple.com. And I went over and I said, "Are you going to mint that on OpenSea?" And he goes, "What?" I go, "OpenSea?" He goes, "What's that?" I said, "It's where you sell NFTs."
And then you handed him your business card and said, "Call me."
I did. Well, I said, "Go follow me, Free Market Capitalist. I have a show where I talk about NFTs." And it's just an example of artists need a resource that isn't just people trying to sell them something, where they can go and collaborate on best strategies for this market.
New York, eh? I would get the shit kicked out of me for talking to somebody in like a random spot here.
It's very relaxed there, as you can imagine.
No, I'm kind of saying that tongue in cheek, actually, but yeah, it's I love that you did that. Can you record it next time too?
Oh, no question. You guys want that content? I am all about it.
You are absolutely shameless. Yeah, but Josh, great idea. It's having Discord is a pretty powerful tool for connecting people. As we know from back in the BitClout days and how we all kind of got in touch. And at the end of the day, one of the only reasons why I'm actually here at this point, right? So, and I think a lot of people can echo that sentiment. But if you wanted to start looking into doing that, I'm sure you would find a lot of people here that could help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if anybody's interested too, feel free to DM me. I'll probably post about it in general or the Degen channel if I spin something up for it. I think there can be a lot of value to that.
Speaking of fellow artists, our young friend Ghost, who I believe is on a beach in Thailand right now, and now we know why, was aped into a couple weeks ago by none other than Vincent Van Gogh, the largest NFT collector in the world. And
oh my God.
yeah, and he tweeted about it yesterday morning, which he did during the show. So I happened to miss it. And again, Ghost is in Thailand right now, so he's a little MIA. But holy moly, congratulations to Ghost. Go check out his work, Pantone Life, on Foundation, which people who purchased was Keith Grossman, CEO of Time Magazine, who's a huge NFT whale. Amazing stuff, man. Congratulations to Ghost. That collection is just on another level, and I am really happy for him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull that up on Twitter right now. Yeah, he posted Crypto Bomb. This project is so good. It is, I mean, they're one of ones, right? And maybe drop a link to where people can check that out, Free Market. But
yep, I got him.
Ghost is insanely talented. He is just like a creative genius, and some of the stuff that I've seen him release is pretty wild. So, huge shout out to him for getting Vincent Van Gogh's shout out there, and I think it's definitely someone that you can look for to be just like only good things.
Yeah, I love this. I started a collab piece with him months and months and months ago for a contest, and I got to follow up now, man. We got to get that collab piece out.
Everybody wants back at Ghost now that he's famous. Be like, hey, remember me? Like, no, I'm just joking, man. You are an insanely talented artist yourself.
Yeah, Ghost is a member of Alphamin and Moon Lounge. He gets back from Thailand, he will regale us all with tales of.
As I scroll through his Twitter feed, also a fan of Swampverse,
which is stealth minting this week. You know, I wanted to bring this up.
Ooh.
I had an interesting question in the general chat. Who asked, "Hey, I saw you mentioned on the show that Swampverse is going to be a stealth mint. With all the Discord hacks going on, do you think it's safe, and what should I do?" And, you know, I told him a little background on what's going on with the Discord hacks, why I think Swampverse has at least their Discord under control, it seems, and what to look out for. I think most sophisticated NFT buyers know immediately when these hacks happen that something is wrong. There's always something off about them. And I said that was the value to being an alpha min, and not even in the, you know, when Swampverse launches later this week, I'll go live, tweet it in the general chat in the alpha min room. We'll verify the contract, we'll make sure it's them, and I'll give the all clear for anyone who wants to mint that project so they feel safe doing it. Swampverse is supposed to mint either today or tomorrow in a stealth mint. So keep an eye out for that, and I will live comment on it in the general chat.
So let's just use Swampverse as an example of a project that's doing things pretty well. I mean, we don't have to talk about the hype or how long they've left it, but go into their Discord. If you're interested in it, go into their Discord, click their official links. They have everything very clearly easy to find as to what their official links are. Open them up, bookmark them, and keep them there. And so if you see a mint happen, or something that kind of catches some red flags, or even their actual mint, reference it against their official links that they posted today, not the official link, I'm air quoting official link, that, you know, scammers might post as like a mint drop area, right? And you know, if a lot of people had done that for Phantom Galaxies, not to rub salt in the wound, but they would have been able to say like, oh, this is .org. There's nothing on their official site that you clicked on through the bookmark that you made, you know, weeks or months ago, and you might save yourself thousands of dollars. So if you go on Swamp First now, they say our only website, swamps.io. They have their Instagram, they have their Twitter there. Like, go follow them. Even Twitter gets compromised. Websites, I think, are a little bit more safe in that regard. But yeah, at least as an added layer of protection, just do yourself a favor if it's a project you're interested in.
Could we also maybe mention a few of the red flags, like things like if you go in and you see that a bunch of the Discord channels are locked,
yeah,
so that nobody can comment, or I don't know if you guys can think of
shutting down
ones,
all forms of communication does sound a little bit sketchy. Yes,
maybe watch out for that.
Yep.
But again, so you know, and it just as not rubbing salt in the wound of anybody. But if you haven't been in that Discord for 3 months or a month or 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever, and you go in and you're just trying to find what notifications have been like applied to you, right? Like the little red number, and you find it, like that might not be the first place you go. You might not even be paying attention to the fact that all of the other channels are locked and or deleted, right? Like when time is of the essence and lots of money is potentially on the line, people really get tunnel vision and they start to just focus on like, I need to get in here now. I can't miss out on this. It's the FOMO, right? And it's when mistakes happen. So calm, cool, and collected approach to minting is never unadvised as well. Double negative, sorry. Free market, what red flags would tip you off?
Well, I mean, we went over it basically, right? Like when a project doesn't have their website up and all the information you talked about, I think that's one of the biggest holes, because then people can easily be taken when these projects do that. All the rooms being locked, I think, is the biggest one. They're even making the announcement about this stealth launch and giving you a little information around it, so you're not completely blindsided when something happens. So I think
yeah, sorry, man, you cut out again.
anything can happen, but your best your best protection is to be with a group of people that are experienced, and even in the general chat where it's free, you can learn how to look for verified contracts and how not to get taken in these scams.
For sure. All right, Josh, I think we're gonna wrap it up from there. Anything you wanna leave us with, free market?
Big shout out to Henry, who just dropped his daily NFT market research in the community research area for Moon Lounge members. It is incredibly in-depth, so well written. I read it every day. He goes into some subjects better than Cobain and I do. So I think you really need to go check out in community research right now. He does it every morning. Big shout out to Henry for that recap.
Yeah, definitely a great 5-minute read that'll give you some really well thought out points on the Henry's here. Henry, I'm gonna invite you up to speak. You don't have to if you're busy, but I'm just on the off chance that you're able to speak right now. We'd love to have you. You jumped up.
Hi, Henry.
You are muted.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I just woke up a little while ago, but I've got my coffee, getting up.
You good to go, eh? Friday morning starting off all right.
Yep.
Nice. You jumped in on the NFL action as well last night.
Yeah, I did. I got 3 of them, but one of them got refunded, so I only have 2 right now.
All right. You managed to sell them. Not that it's any of my business, or did you hold?
Not yet. I have them listed for $8,000 each, so they probably haven't sold yet.
No, all good. That might be cheap soon, based on the hype that they got. Who knows?
I hope so.
That's amazing. Well, congrats, big pickup on that. That's I'm sure everyone is super thrilled for you. And yeah, amazing job on the write up so far. How's your AlphaMint experience been?
Thanks. It's been great. I really have a lot of fun writing the write ups, and I learn a lot. I'm in about 1,000 discords right now, but
I feel you on that. Yeah.
yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, good, man. Well, it's been amazing to have you here, and your work has been top tier, honestly. So yeah, and we got to get you you and some of your friends on for like a little hangout session. On we'll record it and do that because I don't know if you want to share with everybody kind of the stuff that you're involved in with school.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we have a blockchain club at U of M. We're doing a DAO. I mean, we're doing a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, you know, as somebody who is considered an old timer at this point in my mid 30s, it's always cool to get some perspective of what the future generation thinks of all of the stuff that we're, you know, participating in. And I know that you guys have a much more informed and optimistic view of those things, right?
We try to be.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. So definitely looking forward to having that conversation with you. I'll actually shoot you a DM later, and we'll try and organize that.
Sounds great.
Cool, man. All right. On that note, and by the way, thanks for coming up. On that note, I think we'll wrap up the show for our Friday edition. If you ended up tuning in late, or you want to check out any of the other shows, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, these are all recorded online. On Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Always appreciate the support. If you want to just go the extra mile and give us some added support, love when people subscribe to that. It definitely helps us increase the exposure for AlphaMint, and you know, we pick up some really, really quality members along the way. So thank you so much. Free Market, take it away.
Good luck at the tables, guys.
Good luck at the tables. Peace.